Tonight, a high school shooting and search for the suspect.
Officers and medical professionals arrived on scene very quickly, discovered 2 adult males that had suffered gunshot wounds.
A student who was patted down each day allegedly shoots 2 staffers at a Denver high school, then flees with the weapon. The all-out search for him and the condition of those shot. Plus,
if you were to speak to a family member, they want to fix it for you. And you can't fix this. So I think that is where I reach to y'all, because I just want to be heard.
Finding strength in shared grief, Uvalde mothers who have survived the tragic loss of their daughters work through their collective despair and speak out about the bond between them. And
we are looking for systemic change in how these police officers interact with peaceful protesters, because it shouldn't happen to me. It shouldn't happen to anybody.
he joined demonstrators amid the movement that swept the nation following the death of George Floyd and was nearly blinded by police for it. We go on one man's journey for justice and the first of its kind victory that could impact police departments across the country. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including the latest on the timing for that Manhattan grand jury to reconvene as it weighs whether or not to indict Donald Trump. Plus, how Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis is looking to expand one of his most pivotal and controversial laws yet, and the celebrities and musicians now being charged by the Securities and Exchange Commission for a crypto fraud, from Lindsay Lohan and Jake Paul to Neo and Soulja Boy. The charges and who else is on that list. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we do begin with the frustration and fear at a Denver high school today after a teenage gunman opened fire inside the building. Tonight, there's an urgent manhunt underway for the shooter who wounded 2 faculty members at Denver's East High School this morning. The suspect was reportedly under an unusual agreement to be searched for a weapon every day. During this morning's search, officials say he opened fire. The school was then placed on lockdown and students had to barricade themselves in classrooms while nervous parents waited outside. Just last month, a student was shot and killed while sitting in a car near the school. According to the Gun Violence Archive, this is the 18th shooting at a primary or secondary school this year where at least 1 person was injured. Mola Lange leads us off tonight from Denver.
Tonight, the urgent manhunt for a 17-year-old student accused of opening fire inside his Denver high school, shooting and injuring 2 faculty members.
2 GSW, I need 2 ambulances, please.
Authorities say that just before 10 a.m., the student, identified by police as Austin Lyle, was undergoing a daily pat-down for weapons when he opened fire with a handgun, striking 2 administrators. Lyle had been singled out to be searched every day because of behavioral issues.
Is this particular student actually had a safety plan that was in place where they were to be searched at the beginning of the school day every day. They had been searched previously to today and had never had a weapon on them before. However, today, during that search, which took place away from other students, away from other school staff, they did produce that weapon and fire shots.
Lyle then fleeing the school campus with the gun.
The scene is not secure. Student has a weapon. Do not know where they are.
Police rushing to the scene, a massive search underway. Authorities saying the suspect may be driving a red Volvo SUV.
We don't have any sense of where he is. We do know, again, where he lives, and we are executing a search warrant at that location.
Officials warning the public not to approach the suspected shooter.
Obviously, he is armed and dangerous and willing to use the weapon, as we learned this morning.
The school placed on lockdown.
That's crazy, bro.
Students spotting police and first responders from their classroom windows. Paramedics already in the building quickly rendering aid to the 2 victims. They were taken to an area hospital, one in serious condition and undergoing surgery, the other in serious but stable condition, able to tell police what happened. At the school, a crowd of anxious and frustrated family members waiting outside.
I'm very upset. I just feel like we as a society are not doing enough. We don't have any police in the school. There's no metal detectors.
Many upset that this has happened once again.
I rushed over here for the 4th time this year to get my son out of a lockdown. It's got to stop. I can't take it anymore.
This, the 2nd shooting at East High in just 6 weeks. Last month, a junior was shot while sitting in his car near the school. He later died from his injuries.
Mola Lange joins us now from outside of the high school. And Mola, you've learned that after that shooting last month, that students made demands to increase safety measures. What happened there?
Oh, that's right, Lindsay. Both students and parents have been calling for increased security measures here at the school, from bringing back school resource officers to installing metal detectors, among other security measures. Now, this school will be closed for the rest of this week. The school district says once it reopens, they'll post 2 school resource officers here for the rest of the year, but there's no word on any other measures that might be taken, Lindsay.
All right, I'm sure they will consider some additional measures. Mo Lange, our thanks to you. A deadly storm is moving across the country. It has 20 states, 60 million people on alert tonight. It has become the strongest March storm to ever strike San Francisco. And now there are reports of extremely rare tornadoes in Southern California. One was spotted near Los Angeles and Montebello, close to downtown L.A. Santa Cruz County has been hit especially hard. One man recorded his escape through downed trees and power lines. The storm is now headed to the south and then on to the northeast. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano has the latest.
Look at this tornado.
Tonight, an extremely rare sight in Southern California. 2 reported tornadoes. One of them just east of downtown Los Angeles, sending debris flying. Workers watching and recording as roofing goes airborne.
It came right down to the ground. It ripped the roof off 5 buildings here in this industrial area. Only 1 person injured at this point in time.
Just up the coast, a confirmed tornado spotted near Santa Barbara. The National Weather Service surveying the damage tonight. The strongest March storm to ever hit the Bay Area, now carving a path of destruction up and down the Golden State. In the San Francisco area, more than 700 reports of downed trees. At least 5 people killed and several others critically injured. And overnight, San Francisco's 3rd Street Bridge shut down for a time after at least 1 barge slammed right into it. The high winds sending furniture and other debris flying from city skyscrapers.
Those are some significant wind gusts there. Rob Marciano joins us now from Santa Cruz County, California. Rob, you're tracking the path of this storm. What can we expect?
Well, it's going cross country, that's for sure. And here in California, we're finally getting a bit break in the action. Utility crews finally making some progress to restore power here as this storm has plenty of juice to go across the country. Matter of fact, alerts are now stretching into the Ohio River Valley. A flood watch is there, and we've got all the other hazards in play, not just floods, but high winds, snow, avalanche danger, and then the severe weather threat come this time tomorrow night into the southern plains, Oklahoma City, back through Abilene into Dallas. This looks more like a big wind and big hail event, an isolated tornado possible, but it looks like during the day on Friday, as this thing gathers more Gulf moisture and gets into the mid-south and the lower Mississippi Valley, that's when we'll see more likelihood for supercells and tornadoes. Timing this out, the low traverses the heartland with heavy rain for St. Louis and Cincinnati during the day on Friday, pushing up into the Great Lakes and the Northeast on Saturday with heavy rain for I-95 and snow wrapping around the northern perimeter of this thing. We don't really get rid of it until well in the day on Sunday. Another high-impact coast-to-coast storm. Lindsay?
All right. Rob Marciano, our thanks to you as always. Security remains high here in New York City, where prosecutors postponed today's grand jury session, weighing former President Trump's hush money payments during the 2016 campaign. Sources tell ABC News that they will meet tomorrow and that they may potentially hear more from 1 or more witnesses. But the former president is facing scrutiny on another legal front over his handling of classified documents. Here's ABC's chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
The Manhattan District Attorney investigating Donald Trump's hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels told the grand jury hearing the case to stand down for today. Sources tell ABC News at least 1 additional witness may be called to testify before jurors decide whether to indict the former president. Trump declared over the weekend that he would be arrested on Tuesday. That obviously did not happen. But New York is still bracing for protests after Trump called for his supporters to turn out. But few people so far seem to be heeding his call. His former Vice President, Mike Pence, who saw firsthand what happened when Trump called for protests on January 6th, said people should not protest this time.
I would discourage Americans from engaging in protests if, in fact, the former president is indicted.
Many top Republicans reiterating that, urging people not to protest. Jonathan Karl joins us now. So, John, on this matter of the hush money, if there is an indictment. Do you think it's likely this could be pushed to next week?
Oh, I think it's likely, maybe even probable. What we're hearing is that there is likely to be at least one additional witness to testify before that grand jury. So clearly, that means the grand jury still has more work to do before rendering that decision about whether or not to indict.
Okay, so that's the hush money when it comes to Mar-a-Lago, the classified documents. What's the latest in that case?
Well, as we reported last night, one of Trump's lawyers is going to have to, was ordered by a judge to testify to turn over considerable documents, notes, audio recordings, despite attorney-client privilege, because that judge found there was at least initial evidence that Trump had committed a crime by misleading that lawyer. Well, what we've learned is that Trump tried to appeal that. The appeal was made late yesterday. The judge gave the Trump legal team until midnight to make their case, and the government, the prosecutors, had until 6 a.m. this morning to respond to it, and the appeal has been issued. The appeal was knocked down. So that lawyer is going to have to testify in that classified documents case. This is a significant setback for Donald Trump.
Of course, you have your first book with Front Row to the Trump Show. It seems like there could be a sequel.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Sequel in the works, no doubt, yes.
Jonathan Karl, our thanks to you. 12 minutes have left the family of Ivo Otieno with a lifetime of pain and questions. And now ABC News has obtained new video showing what happened at the jail right before he was transported to the hospital. And we do want to warn you that the video is disturbing. Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas.
Newly released video tonight lays out a key moment of escalation between Henrico Sheriff's deputies and Ivo Otieno, who was suffering a mental health crisis before he died at a psychiatric hospital. According to prosecutors, surveillance footage at a Virginia jail where Otieno was initially being held on March 6 shows a deputy spraying the 28-year-old with chemicals before officers forced their way inside his cell and tackle him.
There are blows. There are blows, punches to at least his side. He was pepper sprayed while he was in the cell alone, not posing a danger to anyone.
You can see at least one significant punch right here, with the deputy swinging his right fist. There's a struggle, and Otieno is eventually dragged out of that cell by his arms and legs before he's carried to a police SUV and taken to Virginia Central State Psychiatric Hospital, where prosecutors say he was later smothered to death by 7 deputies and at least 3 hospital workers. Overnight, Otieno's family and attorneys holding a press conference.
My best friend is not around for me to talk to.
The video's release comes as all 10 suspects were formally indicted on second-degree murder charges. And tonight, more signs of the defense taking shape, with an attorney for one of the suspects saying that the surveillance footage only paints part of the picture and that more of the investigation needs to be done before judgments can be made.
I mean, just watching that video is not enough. You got to have that context. And until we're able to get that and work through the process as the system's set up to do, I think it's premature to really say much more.
Our thanks to Pierre. Today, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by another quarter point, continuing their fight against inflation. The hike comes amid concerns that previous rate increases helped trigger the nation's banking crisis and the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. In a statement, the Fed rejected those accusations, saying, quote, the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient, and while inflation has fallen significantly from its peak last summer, it remains more than 3 times higher than the Fed's target of 2%. Presumed presidential hopeful Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who recently said that the war in Ukraine is not vital, is now appearing to walk that back, now calling Russia's Vladimir Putin a, quote, war criminal. He also took the time to address the possible expansion of what critics dubbed his Don't Say Gay law. ABC's Rachel Scott brings us those details.
Tonight, Florida Governor and likely presidential candidate Ron DeSantis trying to quiet the outcry from fellow Republicans after declaring protecting Ukraine against Russia is not in America's vital national interest. In a new interview, DeSantis declaring Vladimir Putin a war criminal.
I think he is a war criminal. I do think that he should be held accountable.
DeSantis implying Putin's days in power may be numbered.
I think he's got grand ambitions. I think he's hostile to the United States. But I think the thing that we've seen is he doesn't have the conventional capability to realize his ambition. We overestimated his conventional capability. This has been a huge blunder for him, huge costs. And, we'll see what ends up happening with his longevity and power.
It comes as DeSantis inches closer to becoming a candidate. And as his likely main rival, former President Donald Trump, faces a slew of investigations, the Florida governor highlighting their differences.
The way we run the government, I think, is no daily drama, focus on the big picture, and put points on the board. And I think that that's something that's very important.
And as for President Biden,
You think you could beat Biden?
I think so.
DeSantis now doubling down on this controversial law critics have called Don't Say Gay, that restricts what teachers can tell their students about sexual orientation and gender identity. His administration now seeking to expand the law through high school, proposing that for grades 4 through 12, instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity is prohibited unless such instruction is either expressly required by state academic standards or as part of a reproductive health course or health lesson for which a student's parent has the option to have his or her student not attend. Opponents say students all the way up to their senior year who may be struggling could be cut off from teachers who could help.
Our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott joins us now. Rachel, has the DeSantis administration reacted to comments from the White House about that possible expansion?
Yes, Lindsay. So late word tonight from a spokesperson for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who tells us in a statement, quote, there is no reason for instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity to be part of the K through 12 public education, full stop. I can tell you this is an issue we can certainly expect to hear more about ahead of 2024, Lindsay.
That's right. We can imagine that will be the case. Rachel Scott from the Capitol. Thanks so much, Rachel. Now we head overseas to Russia as Chinese president departed Moscow after a two-day meeting with Putin. This as missiles violently rained down in Ukraine, one directly hitting an apartment building. You see it there, leaving multiple people dead and injured. ABC's Tom Suvi-Burge continues in Ukraine for us.
Tonight, a Russian missile striking an apartment block in the heart of a major Ukrainian city. Scores injured in Zaporizhia, including children. At least one person killed. Russia also launching exploding attack drones, hitting a college and dormitory southeast of Kiev. 8 people killed here, say officials. The attacks underway even before China's President Xi departed Moscow, after he and Putin said they were ready for peace. And we're learning more about that US Reaper drone, a Russian fighter jet spraying it with fuel, colliding with its propeller, the Pentagon then downing it in the Black Sea. The New York Times tonight publishing audio intercepts of Russians near the crash site coordinating efforts to retrieve drone debris from the sea that day. The Russians heard saying they picked up parts of the nose, gas tank and wing. The Kremlin awarding those pilots medals.
I have no clue why they would give a bravery award to a pilot who was at best just an idiot.
And tonight, a defiant move from President Zelensky, visiting troops near the besieged city of Bakhmut. Ukrainian forces there still holding on. Lindsay?
Tom, thank you. New developments tonight in a mysterious death that has resurfaced during the Alec Murdaugh case. South Carolina authorities are now ruling the death of teenager Stephen Smith a homicide. The 19-year-old died nearly 8 years ago. He was found in the middle of a rural road in what was originally ruled as a hit and run. Smith was a former classmate of Murdaugh's surviving son, Buster. Buster Murdaugh has denied that he had any role in Smith's death. Alec Murdaugh was convicted earlier this month in the murders of his wife and youngest son. The Securities and Exchange Commission is charging a group of 8 celebrities for how they promoted cryptocurrency. The celebrities include Lindsay Lohan, Soulja Boy, Neo, Akon, and Jake Paul. Officials say while touting cryptocurrencies, the stars did not disclose that they had been compensated to do so. The companies they promoted belonged to entrepreneur Justin Sun, who was also charged. He's accused of fraud for allegedly manipulating the market. The second largest school district in the country in Los Angeles remained closed for a second day as thousands of service workers continue to strike. The strike, supported by the teachers union, saw custodians, cafeteria workers, and bus drivers walking the picket lines as school is canceled for more than 400,000 students. The 30,000 members of the Service Employees Union are demanding higher wages and better working conditions. With no new negotiations today, the group plans to stay off the job for a third day tomorrow. Now to the tense standoff here in New York City, where a suspect dangled from a window of the 31st floor of a building, threatening to jump. What happened in the dramatic moment the standoff came to an end? Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, a heart-pounding standoff playing out 30 floors above a New York City street. A man wanted by the FBI seen perched on the ledge of the window, legs dangling, while he threatened to jump from this luxury high-rise just steps away from Carnegie Hall. Police bringing in this large inflatable, moving the crowd back as they watched from below. It all began before 9 a.m. when the FBI tried to execute an arrest warrant. The man barricading himself inside the apartment for hours. An officer finally rappelling down from the floor above. The suspect trying to grab his ankle before that officer's able to get inside. Authorities finally taking that man into custody late today.
And Lindsay, authorities took that man to the hospital. No charges have been filed as his health is still being evaluated. Lindsay?
Trevor, thank you. Still much more ahead tonight on Prime. Coming up, a man tries to walk into a business wearing a mask and armed with a gun the moment a guard stepped up to protect the people inside. But next, mothers united in grief. 4 women who lost their children in the Uvalde school massacre speak about how bonds created in their worst moment are now helping them find a way forward.
If you were to speak to a family member, they want to fix it for you. And you can't fix this. So I think that is where I reach to y'all, because I just want to be heard and I just want someone who understands.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas, ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back to Prime. By now, you all have no doubt heard the sobering numbers. 21 people, including 19 third and fourth grade children, were killed inside Robb Elementary School last year. Another 17 people wounded. And for the parents of that Uvalde community to learn it was a series of systemic failures that led to the loss of their own children, the shooting became one that never needed to happen. Out of that tragedy, 4 women forged an unbreakable bond born from grief. Tonight, they open up about their heartbreak and friendship. Here's Maria Elena Salinas.
How would you describe this relationship that you have?
A rare moment of laughter between a new group of friends.
I think it's a beautiful relationship, of course, and it's bittersweet because I wish we would have had this relationship before May 24th. But I don't know how I would be getting through any of these days without them.
A relationship born from unimaginable tragedy. Their daughters were all killed at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas last May. As they work through their collective grief, they find comfort in each other.
Because there's a lot of times that we feel alone. You know, even if there's 100 people in the room, you still feel alone. But I don't feel that when I'm with them.
For the first time, these moms are talking to ABC News about their bond.
I have to say I was really looking forward to this point of the day.
And on days when it feels like there is little to look forward to,
It's really neat, like the little tentacles, it's a heart.
they find strength in moments like these.
And she just looks at peace.
I was gonna say it's
just,
peaceful.
yeah, she's just like, I'm waiting for you, Mom.
We visited their daughter's murals that were painted by Texas artists around the town square shortly after the tragedy.
She hated it, but she always had her hair like that. She always put her hair behind her ear.
I just like, it's where your attention goes. And it's like, that's Jackie.
Picking up on a friendship their daughter started, a connection they say their girls knew they needed.
Of course, her Houston Astros. She loved them.
Veronica Mata's daughter, Tess, loved to play softball.
The T on there, it's that bracelet that she's wearing right here, and that's the one that I usually wear.
Ana Rodriguez's daughter, Maite,
I actually took this picture of her.
wanted to be a marine biologist. Kimberly Rubio's daughter, Lexi, dreamed of being a lawyer.
I told him kind of what my vision was, and then when he came and brought me this, I was like crying.
And Gloria Cáceres' daughter, Jackie, wanted to visit Paris when she graduated high school.
The I love you to the moon back, that's just what we've always said.
I love the murals.
Yeah,
the murals are my favorite part. Like if I have to go somewhere, it's the murals because there's a little bit of joy, right? It's just, they're beautiful.
In each other, they say they found a deep understanding. Is there a word that you would describe this type of a relationship?
I think it's a club.
It's a club?
It's a club. Unfortunately, it's not a club anybody wants to be a part of, but it's our club now, and we work with what we have, so.
Do you ever feel like you feel more comfortable talking to them than even your own family?
Oh, definitely. Outside my husband and my children, these are the only people I talk to about this.
How about the rest of you?
My family is completely understanding, and they've supported me 100%. However, they have not lost a child. I know I've had Kim message me out of the blue, thinking of you, I love you, and she has no idea how much that helped me.
Finding someone who understands is not easy. And while some of the moms have started therapy, an analysis by the CDC shows that Latinos are less likely to seek help. 19 of the 21 victims here were Mexican American. You know, sometimes from the outside, we have this desire to tell someone who's going through what you've gone through, I feel your pain. But then, can anybody feel your pain other than you?
You don't want somebody to fix it for you. You just want someone to listen. If you were to speak to a family member, they want to fix it for you. And you can't fix this. So I think that is where I reach to y'all, because I just want to be heard, and I just want someone who understands. Only these women understand.
Yeah, it's like an unspoken connection.
I feel that connection with them because of the girls, and I feel like if I don't talk to them, like I'm missing a part of Tess, I guess.
Not one more! Not one more!
They spend countless hours together, demanding justice for their daughters. It's here that they've also met other members of that growing club, families of victims from other shootings around the country.
Looking at our future, and which has always been very jarring for me, because you realize in that moment that it never gets better, because these women are still so broken, and it could be 10, 20 years later.
And they don't lie to you either, you know, I say it myself, I just saw one this past weekend, and she's like, I'm not gonna lie, she's like, it's not gonna get better, she's like, it's gonna get harder.
As the days pass, they say they also learn to trust each other.
I know that I can say and I can be myself around them, and it's okay. It's okay. We're not getting judged if we're smiling, if we're laughing. It's okay. It's okay with them.
When we're in the outside world, do you feel judged? Do you feel guilty? No, we feel guilty already for everything that we do.
You said you already feel guilty. Why?
She's not here. Our kids aren't here. They don't get to enjoy what they used to enjoy.
So when you say you feel guilty, that's where I feel guilty. How am I laughing so hard at something? Or I'm happy and she's not here, but I'm happy in this moment. I'm happy.
It's like the new happy?
Yeah.
So we're never happy again.
Yeah,
with
it's
this
just
new
like
happy.
this new kind of happy.
This is the new happy.
While their lives are forever changed, these moms are grateful that they found each other. Where do you see your relationship going forward?
It's going to be a lifelong relationship that we're always going to have, because we all have that one common denominator.
Sometimes I like to think that it's the relationship our children would have had. Yeah.
As we sit here, I think Lexi's there, Jackie's here, Tessa and Maita's here. You know, it's just a weird thought, but it's one of those weird thoughts that I hope you guys
Laughter in the midst of their grief. Our thanks to Maria for that. Still much more to get to. Coming up, proposals to ban gender transition care for minors are popping up across the country. The state where a bill just passed a big hurdle toward becoming a law. Plus, the testimony in court today as actress Gwyneth Paltrow faces a $3 million lawsuit over a ski collision. But next, with the CEO of TikTok set to testify on Capitol Hill, we take a look at the social network's extremely wide reach by the numbers.
So much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
We're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Two of the hottest rappers coming out of Atlanta.
Young Thug and Gunna.
Charged in a sweeping 56-count indictment.
What is this? Rap is back on trial.
You decide to admit your crimes over a beat, I'm gonna use it. What is happening?
There's lots of us locked up in prison.
We're not gonna let that happen on our watch. Not with hip-hop music, using our lyrics. We're gonna fight back.
Rap, trap, hip-hop on trial. Only on Hulu.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi!
This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
I've never talked about this out loud with anyone in an interview, so it's weird to talk about. The whole world saw me as a sex symbol, but inside I didn't feel that way at all.
It was almost like you were hiding in plain sight.
I just wanted to be someone else. When you tell your truth and let things go, it really will help heal you.
Paris Hilton, in her own words, this is Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
And welcome back, everyone. Tomorrow, the CEO of TikTok will testify before a House committee as the Biden administration is apparently weighing a ban on TikTok in the U.S. due to privacy concerns associated with its relationship with China's government. But it is incredibly popular here. Is it potentially too big to ban? Let's take a look at TikTok by the numbers. 150 million, that's how many monthly active TikTok users there are in the U.S., according to the company's CEO. Since 2018, U.S. users have downloaded the app roughly 400 million times. That's more than any other social media app in that time period. In 2022, it was the single most downloaded app in the entire world. The app is expected to generate at least $11 billion in ad revenue by 2024, according to eMarketer. And listen to this. The average TikTok user in America spends 95 minutes every day scrolling through the social media app. The company has tried to distance itself from China, claiming that 60% of its shares are owned by global investors. Nearly 30 states have banned TikTok from official government or contractor phones, and federal employees have had to remove the app from their government devices. TikTok claims that it is not owned or controlled by any government or state entity. It has never shared U.S. user data with the Chinese government and says it will not honor any request for that data made by the Chinese government. The CEO likely will face many questions about this tomorrow. And still much more ahead on Prime here tonight. What a new study is revealing about the breast cancer risk associated with hormonal birth control methods, and action, conflict, and plenty of suspense. Actor Ian McShane tells us about all the twists and turns fans can expect when John Wick 4 hits theaters this week. Plus, out of the slaughterhouse and onto the streets of New York City, what happened to this escaped cow when officials finally caught up?
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now? I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
I've never talked about this out loud with anyone in an interview, so it's weird to talk about. The whole world saw me as a sex symbol, but inside I didn't feel that way at all.
It was almost like you were hiding in plain sight.
I just wanted to be someone else. When you tell your truth and let things go, it really will help heal you.
Paris Hilton, in her own words, this is Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
A sexualized child model.
Exploitation.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women. I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
The latest state to consider a gender transition bill, the testimony in the lawsuit against an Oscar-winning actress, and a cow on the loose in New York City. These stories and more in tonight's Rundown.
LGBTQ community, including trans youth, feel that their identity is under attack. Senate Bill 480 would ban gender-affirming care for minors. That includes puberty blockers and hormones, treatments that Stephanie Sharp, a transgender woman, says saved her life.
This health care is life-giving. It's not just life-saving, it's life-giving.
Trans people like Scott Nugent agree with the bill.
This breaks my heart. I understand what they're doing, but at some point we've got to adult better.
More testimony in Utah in the civil trial over a lawsuit brought against actress Gwyneth Paltrow for a collision on a ski slope. 76-year-old Terry Sanderson says Paltrow slammed into him 7 years ago, leaving him with a brain injury and broken ribs. A camera placed directly in front of Paltrow and her lawyer was found to be in violation of the court decorum. It was removed.
It's the court's order. People are subject to criminal sanction, and I want it to stop.
Caught on camera, a quick-thinking security guard stopping a gunman outside of a club and possibly preventing mass casualties. A man wearing a devil's mask tried to walk into a popular strip club in Tampa last Sunday armed with a gun, but the security guard, Manny Resto, jumped into action, wrestling the firearm out of the suspect's hands and throwing them to the floor. Several other people then jumped on that man and were able to subdue him until police arrived at the scene.
For the first time in 30 years, DeKalb County investigators finally got a break in a case that had grown cold. A woman who was found beaten to death behind a hotel in Tucker is no longer considered a Jane Doe case. Rebecca, or Becky Burke, was finally identified through the use of new DNA technology. They're now asking anyone with information about Becky or the Fairfield Inn in Tucker dating back to 1993. They're asked to come forward.
The district attorney's office is using a grant from the MUR program to help identify and solve the cases of the remains of 27 unidentified individuals.
Now, a new study that found that most forms of hormonal birth control, regardless of their formulation, seem to have the same small rise in breast cancer risk.
Researchers analyzed data on 10,000 breast cancer patients. They found that progestogen-only contraceptives, which do not have estrogen, are associated with a 20 to 30% relative risk for breast cancer. An escaped cow that ran through the streets of Brooklyn, getting a second chance at life after she was captured. The 4-month-old calf will live at Skylands Animal Sanctuary in Wantage Township, New Jersey. Video shows the cow escaping a vehicle outside a slaughterhouse. Animal rights activists called the slaughterhouse, which hadn't decided what they were going to do with the cow. They refused another sanctuary. Before this,
Tonight, there is a new warning after a spike in suspected criminals impersonating delivery drivers. ABC's Becky Worley has more on how we can take caution.
A criminal fake-out of something we see daily, food delivered to the front door. But the homeowners say they didn't order food. The deceptive delivery late at night, a distraction. Watch as a crew of 4 hooded men simultaneously try to enter the house from the backyard. It happened in Texas while the homeowners were in the house, fast asleep.
I heard a noise. It sounded almost like metal clinking. I woke up because of that noise.
The homeowner says she didn't open the door, and through good fortune, the alleged thieves weren't able to break in. But
whoever those people are, they've taken our peace, our sense of security.
Now authorities urging extra caution amid a recent uptick in suspected criminals impersonating delivery drivers. In California, watch as this man approaches a home appearing to make an Amazon delivery, wearing the vest, package in hand. He knocks, but when no one answers, 3 alleged accomplices run from a nearby car using a crowbar to break in, stealing jewelry and valuables.
It's been hard. It's even a single, even a little sound. I wonder, oh, are they back?
This crew allegedly repeating the actions in other neighborhoods. And the woman from the first house who wasn't home at the time says without seeing this ruse on tape, she may have opened the door.
They literally look like an Amazon driver. I think about the community and, elderly people who just aren't thinking about it and innocently open the door.
Amazon telling us these individuals are not Amazon delivery partners. They're impersonators committing crimes against members of the community. DoorDash reiterating the same message, and along with Amazon saying they will assist law enforcement to ensure bad actors are held accountable.
Our thanks to Becky for that. An important warning tonight about contaminated eye drops. The CDC reports that the death toll linked to some common drops has risen to at least 3. More people are also reporting vision loss. At least 8 people have gone blind. More than 10 different brands of artificial tears have been recalled, most made by Global Pharma Healthcare. In California, a major court victory for a man who participated in the George Floyd protest back in 2020 that was years in the making, but he's not finished fighting. And the outcome of this and another legal battle he's waging could have major implications across the country. Here's ABC's DeMarco Morgan.
I'm just grateful that we had a jury that decided in our favor. I believe that they saw the truth.
A federal jury in Los Angeles this month awarded Deion Jones close to $400,000 in a landmark case against an LAPD officer accused of shooting at Jones during one of many mass protests in 2020 following the death of George Floyd. The verdict is believed to be the first of its kind in which an individual LAPD officer was held personally liable by a jury for his actions. Jones says he had been marching with a friend in LA's Fairfax district when they say they decided to move to a less chaotic area, a Trader Joe's parking lot.
We found ourselves in the area closer to the Trader Joe's and a crowd of people who were either recording, had their hands up, or doing nothing at all. And then you have a police officer fire into that crowd.
Peter Bueno, a veteran officer and a member of the LAPD's elite Metropolitan Division, denies shooting Jones. He testified he had attempted to shoot an unidentified protester who threw a water bottle at him. Jones was shot in the face with a rubber bullet, fracturing his cheekbone.
I'm reminded of what my ophthalmologist said. He said if the bullet was an inch to the left, it would have hit your temple. If it was an inch to the right, you would have been blinded. So I would have been dead or blind.
During the trial, in addition to body camera images from various officers that day, the jury was shown an enhanced body camera video, which Jones's attorney provided to ABC News with highlights. Seen here, images the defense says prove it was Officer Peter Bueno who fired in the direction of Jones and other protesters. The jury first awarded Jones $225,000. Then, after a second deliberation, awarded an additional $125,000 punitive damages against Officer Bueno, punishment for his actions.
You refused to accept a settlement offer from the city. In fact, you ended up winning more.
Well, I was always determined not to settle. I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. Growing up in the way that I grew up, poor, black, this trauma that you face, sometimes in our community is to push it away, bury it, don't talk about it, move on with your life. You should just be a strong individual. It was the first time in my life that I had somebody did something to me, traumatic to me, injured me. And I was like, no, I'm not burying this. I'm not going away, and you're not silencing me.
Not only do Jones's attorneys say this is the first time an LAPD officer was found liable for injuring a protester, but Jones's case might set a precedent when it comes to future cases that are similar.
We now have an example with our case that you can take it all the way. We have an example that officers cannot brutalize peaceful protesters.
Orrin Snyder, Jones's lead attorney, says the verdict represents vindication in a broader context.
Protest is part of the fabric of our democracy. It is essential to our democracy. And if protesters fear excessive police force during peaceful demonstrations, it will chill essential First Amendment activity. The verdict makes clear that there will be accountability going forward if officers violate the constitutional rights of protesters.
Officer Bueno, a member of the department for more than 25 years, is still on the force and following an internal investigation was cleared of any wrongdoing. While the LAPD declined to comment, Officer Bueno's attorney, Janine Jeffrey, says her client plans to appeal the verdict and offered this response in part saying, "We respectfully disagree with the jury's decision. For over 1 year after the incident, Mr. Jones gave a description of Officer Bueno that was not even close to Officer Bueno's physical appearance. Furthermore, Officer Bueno was at a very different location than the person identified by Mr. Jones and Jones's expert as the shooter. These inconsistencies, combined with the inaccurate description and location of Officer Bueno, demonstrate that Officer Bueno did not shoot Mr. Jones."
So the case was essentially filed in two phases. Talk about the second portion of the case, holding the city of Los Angeles accountable as well as the LAPD.
We are looking for systemic change in how these police officers interact with peaceful protesters, because it shouldn't happen to me. It shouldn't happen to anybody.
Snyder says he hopes the second phase of the case ignites widespread change.
Look, the second case is about the systemic failure, the systemic breakdown, the systemic lapses that were so evident. Dion is one of my heroes. From day one, made clear that this was not about him, but it was about making sure that in the future, other people like him will not be afraid to come out and express their voice.
I hope that we all believe that Americans and the citizens of Los Angeles can go out there and peacefully protest and don't have to worry about getting shot in the face with a rubber bullet.
Our thanks to DeMarco for that. The John Wick series has become an international action sensation. Actor Ian McShane co-stars in the latest installment, John Wick Chapter 4, which comes out in theaters this Friday. We do want to know that this was filmed before the tragic death of Lance Reddick last week, who plays Sharon in all 4 John Wick movies. ABC's Will Reeve sat down with Ian to talk about how the series has grown and what it was like to return as his character Winston.
This hit goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
42 regular, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so it begins.
Your character, Winston, crucial to the franchise, crucial in this movie as well. Going back to sort of when the John Wick wasn't a franchise at the time, when
the first
John Wick 1 came into your world, how did you receive it? What excited you about it? And what did you think it might become?
The first John Wick was a really tightly written, an hour-and-a-half independent movie, indie movie. Keanu decided to do it. It had been around for a bit, but he suggested, I believe, that they could go to Chad. Chad and David be brought in it as directors, and that's probably the best decision they ever made. We shot it in the fall of, I remember, over Thanksgiving. That's part of the way they seduced him to come into it. How about coming to New York for a week over Thanksgiving, great hotel, whatever, money, and we'll have a good time. You know if you're in good hands with any movie, I always think. And I just thought, oh yeah, and enjoy the ride. And been enjoying the ride ever since. But I think the concentration that those two have had that goes into the preparation for the next one, then the next one, is what makes each one better and better each time.
This final epic end to the film in Sacre-Cœur, I thought for sure that it was so perfect and beautiful that had to be fake.
No.
Guess it wasn't.
There's very little green screen in the movie, apart from, I think we did an added couple of shots last September at the end, but that was that was I think the very last sequence, the cemetery. And also we did an extra we couldn't go to Japan. There was a scene in Osaka, but Japan wasn't letting anybody in, and we filmed it. They rewrote it, and we did it on Roosevelt Island. Last February, that was in New York, Keanu and me, the scene where I'm lighting the thing for Sharon. But it was a great day because it made New York, it wasn't New York beautiful, it was New York grey and miserable, and that looked terrific,
So in Chapter 4, John has a chance at freedom. How would you describe how that affects the relationship between Keanu's character, John Wick, and your character, Winston?
Well, I mean, we protected him all along. I mean, as I said, he's our favorite assassin, and Sharon and I, and then the last one when you saw Sharon fighting, in the John Wick 3. But this time, it becomes personal for me because they take care of my hotel. Excuse me, blow up my hotel. So it becomes personal for me to help him. And going back to this obscure rule about if you get blessing of your family, go back to your family, make amends to them, get permission, you will have, there is a way out of this, and there is a way out of the high table, in which he chooses to do it.
We, the audience, don't know much about Winston. As you prepare to do this role, what do you know about Winston? What do you inform the character with?
And I said early on that, Lance and I worked out a sort of a background for him, and then it's just a facade. It's like he's part of what happens. And this one, they made it was more interesting because they made it personal, so they involved him having to be part of the whole procession throughout, throughout Europe and whatever, the final. So he becomes more part of it instead of staying back at his hotel or staying where he is. And it's sort of, they gang up on the table, if you like, the high table. So it becomes a revenge story. And they all, for their reasons, want to get out of the high table, even Donnie with his daughter. It's a smartly worked out show. I said, when I was hugely impressed by this last one.
Without spoiling anything, as the credits roll on John Wick 4, where is John Wick in his journey to freedom?
Where is he?
Yeah.
Either he's with his wife, his beloved wife, or he's planning his number 5
right.
coming back again.
It's a little ambiguous, right?
Yeah, it's always got to be ambiguous, yeah. But without
when you have a franchise,
well, sometimes you hang it, yeah, but it's like, I like the fact that it could be the end, because you have got that. But it's not, you have got a definitive, but you haven't. But it's not like there's a loop like, oh, the next one. I mean, it ends and you've got that extra scene after the credits, too.
You've been in hundreds and hundreds of things. Do you watch yourself and do you enjoy it?
No, I don't. I tell you what happens sometimes if I'm in a, doing a movie and I'm sometime you turn on TV and they go, and it's Deadwood, I'll go, well, I'll watch 2 minutes of it. And I'll go, I'm there half an hour later. Or good stuff like that, or sexy, but most of it, no. Or John Wick song, I'll watch it. But no, I don't say, darling, I'm going to watch 3 of my old movies. Would you not bother me for 2 hours, please? No, I've never been, no, I'm not over-impressed by that.
And what else do we have here? Oh, there's a spin-off coming soon, The Ballerina with Ana de Armas.
Oh, yeah, we did that last in Prague, last November, which is, and Keanu as well. You see, that's another thing, which maybe give but that's a retro.
Right.
That's between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4.
Okay.
But, again, she's great. She's terrific.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time. And
thank you.
Our thanks to Will for that, and our condolences tonight to the family, friends, and cast of John Wick, who are mourning the loss of Lance Reddick. In a statement to ABC News on the death of Reddick, Ian told us that he is shocked and said, quote, Lance was a wonderful human being and a wonderful colleague. My deepest condolences, peace and love to his wife, Stephanie, and all of his family. Before we go tonight, the image of the day. Muslim worshippers in Istanbul, Turkey, perform a night prayer before the first day of Ramadan tomorrow, marking the start of the holy month, where observant Muslims abstain from food and drink from dawn to dusk. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, they quit their jobs in corporate America to start a new venture on their own terms. How 2 brothers are creating a network of businesses to help empower their community. And what a new report is revealing about the potential of a global water crisis and what could be done to prevent it.
With so much at stake in our world right now, we wanted to thank you for your trust and for making ABC News America's #1 news.
And thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
After an extraordinary news-making year, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
I've never talked about this out loud with anyone in an interview, so it's weird to talk about. The whole world saw me as this sex symbol, but inside I didn't feel that way at all.
It was almost like you were hiding in plain sight.
I just wanted to be someone else. When you tell your truth and let things go, it really will help heal you.
Paris Hilton, in her own words, this is Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We're monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour. Los Angeles schools are closed for a second day as thousands of service workers continue to strike. The strike, supported by the teachers union, saw custodians, cafeteria workers, and bus drivers walking the picket lines today as schools canceled for more than 400,000 students. The 30,000 members are demanding higher wages and better working conditions. With no new negotiations today, the group plans to stay off the job for a third day tomorrow. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates by another quarter point, continuing the fight against inflation. The raise comes amid concerns that previous rate increases helped trigger the nation's banking crisis and the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. In a statement, the Fed rejected those accusations, saying the banking system is sound and resilient. While inflation has fallen significantly from its peak last summer, it does remain at more than 3 times the Fed's target of 2%. The Securities and Exchange Commission is charging a group of 8 celebrities for how they promoted cryptocurrency. The celebrities involved include Lindsay Lohan, Soulja Boy, Neo, Akon, and Jake Paul. Officials say while touting cryptocurrencies, the stars did not disclose that they'd been compensated to do so. The companies they promoted belong to entrepreneur Justin Sun, who was also charged. He's accused of fraud for allegedly manipulating the market. Next to the frustration and fear at a Denver high school after a teenage gunman opened fire inside the building today. Tonight, there's an urgent manhunt underway for the shooter who wounded 2 faculty members at Denver's East High School this morning. The suspect was reportedly under an unusual agreement to be searched for a weapon every day. During this morning's search, officials say he opened fire. Moa Lange reports from Denver.
Tonight, the urgent manhunt for a 17-year-old student accused of opening fire inside his Denver high school, shooting and injuring 2 faculty members.
2 GSW, I need 2 ambulances, please.
Authorities say that just before 10 a.m., the student, identified by police as Austin Lyle, was undergoing a daily pat-down for weapons when he opened fire with a handgun, striking 2 administrators. Lyle had been singled out to be searched every day because of behavioral issues.
Is this particular student actually had a safety plan that was in place where they were to be searched at the beginning of the school day every day. They had been searched previously to today and had never had a weapon on them before. However, today, during that search, which took place away from other students, away from other school staff, they did produce that weapon and fire shots.
Lyle then fleeing the school campus with the gun.
The scene is not secure. Student has a weapon. Do not know where they are.
Police rushing to the scene, a massive search underway. Authorities saying the suspect may be driving a red Volvo SUV.
We don't have any sense of where he is. We do know, again, where he lives, and we are executing a search warrant at that location.
Officials warning the public not to approach the suspected shooter.
Obviously, he is armed and dangerous and willing to use the weapon, as we learned this morning.
The school placed on lockdown.
That's crazy, bro.
Students spotting police and first responders from their classroom windows. Paramedics already in the building quickly rendering aid to the two victims. They were taken to an area hospital. Paramedics already in the building quickly rendering aid to the two victims. They were taken to an area hospital. The school district identifying them as Gerald Mason, in good condition, and Eric Sinclair, who remains in serious condition. At the school, a crowd of anxious and frustrated family members waiting outside.
I'm very upset. I just feel like we as a society are not doing enough. We don't have any police in the school. There's no metal detectors.
Many upset that this has happened once again.
I rushed over here for the fourth time this year to get my son out of a lockdown. It's got to stop. I can't take it anymore.
This, the second shooting at East High in just 6 weeks. Last month, a junior was shot while sitting in his car near the school. He later died from his injuries.
Our thanks to Mola for that. A deadly storm moving across the country has 20 states, 60 million people on alert tonight. It has become the strongest March storm to ever strike San Francisco. And now there are reports of extremely rare tornadoes in Southern California. One was spotted near Los Angeles in Montebello, close to downtown L.A. Santa Cruz County has been hit especially hard. Look at this. You see one man recording his escape through downed trees and power lines. The storm is headed to the south next and then on to the northeast. ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano has more.
Look at this tornado. Tonight, an extremely rare sight in Southern California. 2 reported tornadoes. One of them just east of downtown Los Angeles, sending debris flying. Workers watching and recording as roofing goes airborne.
It came right down to the ground. It ripped the roof off 5 buildings here in this industrial area. Only one person injured at this point in time.
Just up the coast, a confirmed tornado spotted near Santa Barbara. The National Weather Service surveying the damage tonight. The strongest March storm to ever hit the Bay Area, now carving a path of destruction up and down the Golden State. In the San Francisco area, more than 700 reports of downed trees. At least 5 people killed and several others critically injured. And overnight, San Francisco's 3rd Street Bridge shut down for a time after at least one barge slammed right into it. The high winds sending furniture and other debris flying from city skyscrapers.
Our thanks to Rob for that. 12 minutes had left the family of Ivo Otieno with a lifetime of pain and questions. Now, ABC News has obtained new video showing what happened at the jail right before he was transported to the hospital, and we do want to warn you that the video is disturbing. Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
Newly released video tonight lays out a key moment of escalation between Henrico Sheriff's deputies and Ivo Otieno, who was suffering a mental health crisis before he died at a psychiatric hospital. According to prosecutors, surveillance footage at a Virginia jail where Otieno was initially being held on March 6 shows a deputy spraying the 28-year-old with chemicals before officers forced their way inside his cell and tackle him.
There are blows. There are blows, punches to at least his side. He was pepper sprayed while he was in the cell alone, not posing a danger to anyone.
You can see at least one significant punch right here, with the deputy swinging his right fist. There's a struggle, and Otieno is eventually dragged out of that cell by his arms and legs before he's carried to a police SUV and taken to Virginia Central State Psychiatric Hospital, where prosecutors say he was later smothered to death by 7 deputies and at least 3 hospital workers. Overnight, Otieno's family and attorneys holding a press conference.
My best friend is not around for me to talk to.
The video's release comes as all 10 suspects were formally indicted on second-degree murder charges. And tonight, more signs of the defense taking shape, with an attorney for one of the suspects saying that the surveillance footage only paints part of the picture and that more of the investigation needs to be done before judgments can be made.
I mean, just watching that video is not enough. You got to have that context. And until we're able to get that and work through the process as the system's set up to do, I think it's premature to really say much more.
Our thanks to Pierre Thomas. Security remains high here in New York City, where prosecutors postponed today's grand jury session weighing former President Trump's hush money payments during the 2016 campaign. Sources tell ABC News that they will meet tomorrow and that they may potentially hear from more witnesses. But the former president is facing scrutiny on another legal front over his handling of classified documents. Here's ABC's chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
The Manhattan District Attorney investigating Donald Trump's hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels told the grand jury hearing the case to stand down for today. Sources tell ABC News at least one additional witness may be called to testify before jurors decide whether to indict the former president. Trump declared over the weekend that he would be arrested on Tuesday. That obviously did not happen. But New York is still bracing for protests after Trump called for his supporters to turn out. But few people so far seem to be heeding his call. His former Vice President, Mike Pence, who saw firsthand what happened when Trump called for protests on January 6th, said people should not protest this time.
I would discourage Americans from engaging in protests if, in fact, the former president is indicted.
Many Republicans are taking that stance, encouraging people not to protest. Our thanks to John for that. Presumed presidential hopeful Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who recently said that the war in Ukraine is not vital, is now leaning in and calling Russia's Vladimir Putin a, quote, war criminal during an interview. He also took the time to address the possible expansion of what critics dubbed his Don't Say Gay law. ABC's Rachel Scott brings us those details.
Tonight, Florida Governor and likely presidential candidate Ron DeSantis trying to quiet the outcry from fellow Republicans after declaring protecting Ukraine against Russia is not in America's vital national interest. In a new interview, DeSantis declaring Vladimir Putin a war criminal.
I think he is a war criminal. I do think that he should be held accountable.
DeSantis implying Putin's days in power may be numbered.
I think he's got grand ambitions. I think he's hostile to the United States. But I think the thing that we've seen is he doesn't have the conventional capability to realize his ambition. We overestimated his conventional capability. This has been a huge blunder for him, huge costs. And, we'll see what ends up happening with his longevity and power.
It comes as DeSantis inches closer to becoming a candidate. And as his likely main rival, former President Donald Trump, faces a slew of investigations, the Florida governor highlighting their differences.
The way we run the government, I think, is no daily drama, focus on the big picture, and put points on the board. And I think that that's something that's very important.
And as for President Biden,
You think you could beat Biden?
I think so.
DeSantis now doubling down on this controversial law critics have called Don't Say Gay, that restricts what teachers can tell their students about sexual orientation and gender identity. His administration now seeking to expand the law through high school, proposing that for grades 4 through 12, instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity is prohibited unless such instruction is either expressly required by state academic standards or as part of a reproductive health course or health lesson for which a student's parent has the option to have his or her student not attend. We say gay! We say gay! Opponents say students all the way up to their senior year who may be struggling could be cut off from teachers who could help.
Our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott joins us now. Rachel, has the DeSantis administration reacted to comments from the White House about that possible expansion?
Yes, Lindsay. So late word tonight from a spokesperson for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who tells us in a statement, quote, there is no reason for instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity to be part of the K through 12 public education, full stop. I can tell you this is an issue we can certainly expect to hear more about ahead of 2024, Lindsay.
That's right. We can imagine that will be the case. Rachel Scott from the Capitol. Thanks so much, Rachel. Now to the tense standoff in the sky here in New York City, where a suspect dangled from a window on the 31st floor of a building, threatening to jump. What happened in the dramatic moment the standoff came to an end? Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, a heart-pounding standoff playing out 30 floors above a New York City street. A man wanted by the FBI, seen perched on the ledge of the window, legs dangling, while he threatened to jump from this luxury high-rise just steps away from Carnegie Hall. Police bringing in this large inflatable, moving the crowd back as they watched from below. It all began before 9 a.m. when the FBI tried to execute an arrest warrant. The man barricading himself inside the apartment for hours. An officer finally rappelling down from the floor above. The suspect trying to grab his ankle before that officer's able to get inside. Authorities finally taking that man into custody late today.
Our thanks to Trevor for that. Today marks World Water Day and the first day of the UN 2023 Water Conference. A meeting like this has not been held since 1977, and it comes as the UN has released a report warning that the planet is off track in reaching clean water and sanitation goals for all. ABC's Ginger Z has these details.
A new report released by the UN warning of a potential global water crisis.
If we don't deal with it properly, then soon we are headed towards what would be a perfect storm and a truly global water crisis.
The goal isn't hard to get behind: clean water and sanitation for all. But our planet is way off track. 2 billion people worldwide don't have access to clean drinking water, according to that report. An additional 4.6 billion lack access to safely managed sanitation. Richard Connor, the report's author, says that water use has been increasing globally by about 1% per year over the last 40 years, and they expect it to keep going at a similar rate through 2050.
The number one bottom line for increased water use is population growth. So you've got this increasing demand for water in these rapidly growing cities, but the water is finite. There's only a certain amount of it available. And with climate change, it's getting increasingly difficult to actually predict how much water you will have from one season to another.
The UN 2023 Water Conference is meeting to set goals and develop plans to improve these conditions. The solution? Connor says it comes down to political will.
And when it comes to politicians, money matters. You can't have economic growth without proper water management systems.
The report emphasizing that global cooperation is needed.
This affects real people, real jobs. And this is not just something that you will see in developing countries. You'll see it right here in the U.S.
Real world concerns far and right here. Our thanks to Ginger for that. Still much more to get to. Coming up, two brothers decide to leave the corporate world to empower and create community. But next, the aftermath of a massive ship coming off its holding and tipping on its side, sending more than a dozen people to the hospital.
Whenever news breaks,
the crushing families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends.
Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
On the Oscars star-studded champagne carpet, I'm Wick Johnson. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We're tracking several headlines around the world. 1,300 people fleeing insecurity find themselves in a refugee camp in Haiti due to the violence unleashed by the war between criminal gangs in the country. The UN has said mass sexual violence is also used against women and girls to terrorize, punish, and pressure families into paying kidnapping ransoms. A local rights group estimates gangs now control the entire capital of Port-au-Prince and more than half of the country. 25 people were injured when a ship came off of its holding and tipped on its side in a dry dock in Scotland. According to emergency services, 15 were taken to the hospital and another 10 were treated and discharged at the scene. Palestinians in Jerusalem, the West Bank, and Gaza decorated their shops and streets with colorful lanterns and ornaments in preparation for the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. People came from different parts of the country to participate in cleaning the Al-Aqsa compound in Jerusalem. And in the West Bank, Palestinians lit a giant lantern in the center of the city where it will stay until the end of the month. Residents of Gaza will mark another Ramadan under the shadow of an Israeli blockade that has put restrictions on the movement of people and goods for years. You may have heard about the iconic Soho House, the hip members-only creative space located in major cities around the world. But have you heard of the HQ DC House? Mike and John Burns are the Burns brothers, two young African-American siblings who left their lucrative corporate jobs to create a network of multi-dimensional businesses dedicated to the empowerment of Black people. So what's behind their effort? Ike Ajachi has the story.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
It's a first-of-its-kind club on the DC scene.
HQ DC House is a members-only luxury kind of social and culture house based here in Washington, D.C.
4 stories and 12,000 square feet of workspaces, lounges, a barista, a wellness space, and even a room for music sessions. And it's built to support and mobilize people of color.
There's no real space for you to go that feels luxury, that feels special, to where you can either go to interact with people or you can just kind of come to just decompress and be yourself.
How long is it going to take, do you think?
Hopefully by the end of the week.
That's Mike and John Burns. The corporate executive and attorney are the creators of HQ House. For a fee, the Burns brothers say members will have access to all of these spaces to network and collaborate.
There's very high-end kind of co-working opportunities during the day. During the week and on the weekends, too, we're having about 15 events and activations a month for members, from, very high-end dinner series to game night watch parties.
They're aiding and abetting the dreams of others, namely people of color, and more specifically, Black people.
The Burns brothers firm getting some help with a little star power.
We need you out in these streets.
I'm out the game. Award-winning actor Amari Hardwick played Ghost in the hit show Power. He's known the brothers for nearly 15 years, working with them on several ventures.
The Burns brothers have really become, in their own right, a sort of movement, if you will, a sort of new civil rights movement.
A movement that's in their blood. Dr. Diana Burns Banks is their mother. She provided health care to children living in poverty by creating one of Texas's largest private pediatric practices. Raised in the 50s and 60s, Dr. Burns Banks was one of the first students to desegregate her school in Meridian, Mississippi.
And it's a real strange to see discrimination in such a form where you can come and sit in a room and everybody moves their chair away from you, which is a strange feeling. That leave you sitting in the middle of the room.
Alone.
Alone. But rather than making you feel alone, it made you feel determined. It made us feel determined that we would, no matter what, we would succeed.
She enrolled her boys into military school, where they both earned high honors. Mike went on to fly Apache helicopters in Afghanistan and Iraq, and was selected by General David Petraeus to lead the rebuild of 4 cities in northern Iraq. His brother John became the first Black partner in his law firm, eventually coming together again to build up their communities through their multiple companies.
We have a core D&I and talent and culture company called the Koi Collective. We have a marketing communication company called Manchester Park. We have a celebrity speaker series called Icon Talks. And we also have an event production company called Styled by the Burns Brothers. And then finally, our 5th company is HQ DC House.
It's an idea that started in the summer of 2020.
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot!
When racial justice protests erupted across the country following the killing of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police officers.
In my office, I have my TV in my background, and it's playing the 8.5-minute video over and over and over of George Floyd. And then behind my computer monitors, I have a picture of my 2 little black boys. And I'm on this phone call talking about real estate downsizing. And I was like, how in the world is this phone call gonna change the situation for my 2 little black boys so it never becomes like what's happening on the TV? And I hung up the phone call. I picked up the phone and called John. And I said, do you want to go out and change the world?
Both brothers left their lucrative corporate jobs to go all in on the Burns Brothers firm, an umbrella corporation containing 5 companies tailored to serve communities of color.
All of our companies are really built around the importance of empowering, uplifting, supporting, and mobilizing community, and really uplifting the voices that often are underrepresented and unheard.
The Burns Brothers are uplifting people of color in their own way. They're breaking down stereotypes, catering to an underserved demographic, and setting strong, positive examples for the next generation.
All right, thanks to Ike for that. Still to come, a little boy saves his family from a house fire. How his quick thinking helped get them all out safely.
I've never talked about this out loud with anyone in an interview, so it's weird to talk about. The whole world saw me as the sex symbol, but inside I didn't feel that way at all.
It was almost like you were hiding in plain sight.
I just wanted to be someone else. When you tell your truth and let things go, it really will help heal you.
Paris Hilton, in her own words, this is Impact by Nightline, now streaming on Hulu. With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. After an extraordinary news-making year, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Finally tonight, a little boy became a big hero when his quick thinking helped him save his family from a house fire in Pennsylvania. Reporter Sharifa Jackson with our partner station WPVI in Philadelphia has this story in our local lowdown.
I ran downstairs to tell my mom, oh my God, there's a fire.
We're alive. That's the main thing. And all because of him. He was, just my hero.
Mary Pierce returned to her family home of 51 years Friday morning.
It's a mess.
What's left is a heartbreaking sight, but she says there's a lot to be thankful for.
The fact that he's autistic and he did exactly what he was told to do and never lost his cool.
She says her 11-year-old grandson, Paulie Hobble, deserves all the credit for not only saving her life, but the life of his mother and disabled uncle. It happened around 9:26 Monday night at their home on the 200 block of Holstein Street in Bridgeport. Everyone was asleep when flames spread quickly without the family even knowing. 11-year-old Paulie woke up just in time to spot the fire and sprinted into action.
My grandson came in the room screaming, there's a fire on the 3rd floor, you gotta leave.
Running from the 3rd floor to the 1st, he quickly alerted everyone and even helped his grandmother get out.
He drugged my hand and drugged me up to the front.
Only his mother suffered some burns to her face and arms, but at 11 years old, Paulie's quick thinking is getting a lot of praise.
And he did a very good job, and he shook every fireman's hand. Yeah.
And we asked Paulie how he knew what to do. He says he learned about fire safety in school.
My mommy was proud of me. Everybody was proud of me because they're saying Paulie was a hero.
How does that make you feel?
Happy, because I always wanted to be a hero.
Paulie is a hero. And that is our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, the ABC News app, and, of course, on abcnews.com. Have a great night.